Hey guys! I know it's been quite a while since I've done another vlog that was not in my original, where I used to live. I've moved since. Actually been here 6 months, and things have been busy. I've been working on getting this house in shape, and I've also been in school. And that's actually what I kind of wanted to talk about. I've been taking classes for a communications certificate, and one of these classes was oral and written reports. Now, one of the reports that I did had the written aspect in it and a presentation that you had to do, which was the PowerPoint. Um, and I did mine on paranormal tech. And I figured I would share that with you. I don't have the recording of when I presented it, but I figured I could just kind of share with you a little bit of the process of writing this report as well as the report itself. I don't think I actually have the report visuals anymore. I don't know what I would do with them, given I don't have any extra cameras right now to film the PowerPoint, but essentially what you're supposed to do with an informative report, which is what we were writing, was 5 to 6 pages, something that we knew about but we're not a total expert on. A research into a specific area of topic, and it needed table illustrations, pictures. Um, and because I'm really not that big of a techie, I know how to set up the equipment when we go on investigations, but I really haven't done too much actual research into how it works, the new stuff that's been being developed like this past year. Um, so I picked my topic to narrow it down as paranormal field tools development. I figured I would just have an explanation of what each type of tool is meant to do when it comes to audio, video, experimentation, movement and detection, trigger objects, what they can be used for, since some have multiple uses, like the K2 meter, for example. A discussion of organizations and inventors and development teams that are known to the field, maybe a little bit about the need for updated or better tools of equipment, um, and then some of the data kind of centered around the need for specific equipment versus other types of equipment, such as audio versus video versus still image. And what I got, honestly, was a little bit. I mean, when I was doing my original research for this, it was a lot to take in. Um, I had to pick a few things that, pick and choose, because I only had so long to do this presentation and I wanted to be able to do everything. So, and essentially what I decided to do was visuals, specifically visuals, because we have so much going on in audio, and audio is a lot of what we rely on, that the visual developments in tech were kind of priority. So when I was doing my research, I came across full spectrum glasses, which are something that, if you've been watching Ghost Hunters, Taps has them. And they've been playing with them a lot, and unfortunately, I don't have TV right now, so I haven't really been able to watch GH, but I got a little bit into this and realized I really want a pair of these now. So, and then I looked into the developments of companies such as Paranologies, Ghost Stop, the Ghost Hunter store, which is where we've gotten a lot of our stuff, Digital Dowsing, who is responsible for the Ovilus, Less EMF, who do mostly kits, and Catch a Ghost paranormal equipment. And I had also planned on doing or showing a video about Paratech, but I did ended up not doing that. So here's the report itself, just so that you have the full where I went with this. I called it Paranormal Technology: Recent Developments of Paranormal Investigation Equipment. As a research field, paranormal research and investigation has a broad range of equipment, adapted and modified from other fields, and developments occur on a very frequent basis. As researchers find new ways to capture footage with specific lighting and and new imaging techniques, investigators are able to make changes for the better in their field. While some of these developments are strictly experimental, others have made monumental changes in how paranormal investigators conduct investigations, and also in analyzing investigation footage. Included in this discussion are several types of equipment, including imaging and capturing equipment and their uses. The paranormal is a broad topic and an even broader research field. There are thousands of teams in the United States, as well as thousands in countries abroad. The hunt for ghosts is often made fun of, but there are plenty of people who take it seriously enough to either modify existing equipment or invent equipment specifically designed for paranormal investigation. Some of these people make up companies like Paranologies, Ghost Stop, Ghost Hunter Store, Catch a Ghost, Paranormal Equipment, Less EMF, and Digital Dowsing. The Atlantic Paranormal Society, known for the show Ghost Hunters, has a tech department that is well known for its new developments and experimentations in equipment. Along with basic equipment that records investigation footage for later analyzing, there are now plenty of ways to detect and garner interactions with entities during investigations. Several types of equipment actually existed in plumbing, electrical management, and other fields before they were found to be useful in the paranormal field. And some of the equipment that has recently been developed were invented based on existing tools, such as the K2 meter originally used by electricians. For example, the use of thermal imaging to find problems in construction, plumbing, or electricity has been a huge and important development in paranormal technology and research tools. The following is a small discussion of developing and trending equipment. Thermal imaging and full spectrum. While the best paranormal equipment will likely always be the five senses, a camera, and a good audio recorder, paranormal researchers have been using their fieldwork to make better equipment since the field became popular through reality TV shows like Sci-Fi's Ghost Hunters. Since temperature and electromagnetic fields have always been two important things to measure during an investigation, quite a few inventions cater to this particular need, since ghosts are essentially believed to be made up of electromagnetic fields and/or energy, and are known to make the temperature drop or spike. Several pieces of equipment measure both EMF and temperature, but some of them are miles apart in differences. The MEL meter is a basic meter that measures the temperature, gauges EMF in milligauss, and also acts as a detection sensor with the built-in REM pod, a device usually sold separately that makes a squealing noise when someone or something is in close proximity. While the MEL meter is a very simple instrument, a similar instrument, the FLIR thermal imaging camera, has the same basic idea, but it shows as well as tells. Essentially, it shows you on its little screen where the temperature and energy readings are in a spectrum of color. The biggest difference between the two is actually pricing. A MEL meter usually sells for around $80, while the FLIR thermal imaging camera usually sells for $1,500 plus. Full spectrum imaging essentially captures surroundings in colors better suited for darkness, in hopes of capturing better paranormal evidence. While most cameras dedicated to paranormal investigation usually show lots of dark shadows and pixelation, full spectrum is in blacks, purples, and greens, which seems to show movement and figures in the dark far better than a regular camera. It also tends to be easier to show the difference between a living human and a possibly paranormal entity or anomaly. Theoretically, it should also be easier to see the interactions between an entity and an investigator should one occur. Within full spectrum imaging, however, is a new development. Full spectrum cameras and even full spectrum glasses are trending in popularity. And with the full spectrum glasses can record video from the point of view of the investigator in full spectrum color. They are trending in popularity and use, due mainly to the Atlantic Paranormal Society, the team responsible for Ghost Hunters, having used them in recent episodes. Full spectrum and thermal imaging are even used in a new 3D item called SpectraCam by SpectraCam LLC, which essentially does the same thing as a full spectrum camera but records in 3D as well as full spectrum coloring. And this item is still in testing stages. Then there are items that have multiple uses, such as the Tri-Field camera by Paranologies, which records in several formats with a touch of a button. Standard IR, full spectrum, and thermal imaging. Originally, however, it only recorded in standard IR. It is a large, clunky piece of equipment, though it seems to get good results. It comes with its own lighting and two handles by which the investigator can move it around or lift it to place it in a location. Other pieces of equipment that serve multiple purposes are the MEL meter and the K2 meter, both of which are used to take baseline readings in a location as well as for interaction purposes. What's next? There are lots of developments, and the coming 11 months should herald the release of at least 4 very highly discussed pieces of equipment, each of which fit into different categories. There's a stationary camera piece being developed that allows the investigator to interact with any entity surrounding them with a built-in range of lights and sounds. One investigator turned inventor has discovered how to film footage with 3D, something which is still in testing stages and has been released only for field testing so far. Digital Dowsing, the company that developed the Ovilus, a talking machine, is constantly developing new items in the same range as the Ovilus, as well as accessories for existing models, including text readouts and meter attachments for an all-in-one experience. The favorite seems to be the still developing idea of point-of-view recording, including the previously mentioned full-spectrum glasses. The developers of these cool spectacles have listed a plethora of ideas for future models. As well as all of this, there are discussions of many developments in imaging and 3D, new trigger objects to encourage interactions, software to analyze sound, real-time recording that allows you to listen to recordings right after they've been taken, and clear sound recording which allows for better electronic voice phenomena reading. Paranormal investigators are a creative bunch and have no shortage of ideas to make investigations easier and better. My sources for this, were kind of difficult to cite because most pages had no author names. I did put that in a note in the base of my paper so that my teacher would know. But I got a lot of my information from a blog by an investigator with New York Shadow Chasers. Various product about pages from Paranologies, some recent development blogs from Ghost Hunter Store, product pages from Ghost Stop, the TAPS blog, the product page for the full spectrum glasses at parahana.com, an about page for SpectraCam LLC, product pages in the EMF Safety Superstore, product pages for in Catch a Ghost, and a paranormal.about.com piece about ghost hunting equipment by Stephen Wagner, and some information regarding the Ovilus devices from digitaldowsing.com. The thing about that research is that it was really kind of difficult to do. If you haven't seen anything about the full spectrum glasses, I'd really say you should check them out because they're really not that expensive. I was looking at them and they're about $120, $150, which isn't too bad for a piece of equipment like that. Because they're literally, you put them on and you have recording going on and you can see in full spectrum and you can record. There's a little button on the side of the glasses. It's kind of really a cool tool.